Are you ready for a significant change in the NDIS? Starting on Monday the 19th of May 2025, NDIS is reshaping how funding is released in participant plans. Instead of getting your entire budget as a lump sum, funding will be released in smaller chunks called funding periods. Let's break this down. Funding periods divide your total NDIS budget into time-based amounts. For most supports, funding is released every 3 months. However, some, like home and living supports, are available monthly. Others, such as assistive technology and home modifications, could still be released in a lump sum. Don't worry if you don't use all your funding in a period, it will roll over into the next one. However, leftover funds cannot carry over into a new plan at the end of your current one. So, when does this change take effect? The new funding structure applies to all plans approved from the 19th of May 2025. The funding periods align with your plan start date, not necessarily the start of the month. For instance, if your plan begins on the 15th of June, that's when your first funding period starts. Now, what if you have leftover funds? Any unspent funds within a funding period will carry over to the next. However, any unused funds from your total budget by your plan's end won't transfer to your next plan. Who can view your funding periods? You can check your funding breakdown in the NDIS participant portal, PACE. Your plan manager and approved support coordinator can also see the details, while other providers will not have complete access. How do claims work with this new model? Claims must align with the funding period in which services were delivered. If a session spans 2 periods, it might have to be split into separate claims. If a claim surpasses available funding for that period, it will be rejected. You cannot borrow from future funding periods or easily transfer funds between them. If you need extra funding sooner, discuss it during your planning meeting, or request a plan reassessment. Is flexibility still available in your NDIS plan? Yes. Core supports are flexible, depending on management. Capacity building supports retain flexibility unless stated otherwise. Capital supports are still fixed and itemized. Do these rules apply to children? Yes, they do, including early childhood participants. If your current plan was approved before the 19th of May 2025, you won't be affected until it's reassessed or renewed. Recapping key points, new plans from the 19th of May will have staged funding releases. Unused funds roll into the next period. Funding from future periods cannot be used early. Remaining funds do not carry over into the next plan. Plan managers and support coordinators can view your funding in PACE. Claims may need to be split across funding periods. Ask for help if you need more funding sooner. What should you do now? First, speak up in your planning meeting. If you anticipate needing more funding earlier, communicate this clearly. Follow up in writing if necessary. Next, review your service agreements. Ensure they align with the new funding periods to avoid out-of-pocket expenses. Don't wait if your situation changes, request a plan reassessment as soon as possible. Stay updated through the NDIS website, your participant portal, and official email bulletins. This new staged funding system may take some time to adjust. However, it aims to encourage active plan monitoring and reduce upfront underspending. Understanding these changes is critical to meeting your real-world support needs. If you have any questions or concerns, seek clarity now. For official guidance, visit the NDIS website.